Yo, what's up guys? New video talking about two things. First of all, new units announced, so that's actually pretty interesting because I did hear quite a lot of people say like, the reloaded update, I don't like it, no new units, blah blah blah. I saw some content creators actually summon because they didn't expect any units. That's kind of funny though. So apparently jokes on them for being impatient. But yeah, we have new units and I've been getting this question quite a bunch of saying, okay, how should I prepare for Reloaded? Are there certain things that I can do right now, certain things that I shouldn't do, certain things that I should do? I've seen some other content creators also make videos on that, but I also give my take on that. And a bunch of things, I totally agree with the other content creators. A bunch of things I think they didn't mention specifically, which I think might happen or might not happen. So let's look at those new units. We have Intras and Asuras. They look pretty dope. That's kind of, I guess, like towards the Inca kind of style with like the multiple arms. Is that Inca stuff? I'm not even sure. Like we have that one person from Mortal Kombat that has like the multiple arms, that kind of stuff. But this one on the left looks pretty dope as well. So what do we have? We have 5 stars and 4 stars. So we're getting new 4 stars. That doesn't necessarily mean that this whole family is 4 star. That doesn't necessarily mean that the whole family is 5 star. But there's good odds to it that it is like that, which I think is cool. Hopefully that also shakes up the 4-star meta for Siege, which has been pretty still. So that could be pretty cool. I'm also quite curious if these units are released right now. There are decent odds that you cannot use them in the Siege tournament because I expect them to be released on Thursday or maybe the week after. And the Siege tournament is happening pretty much next week already as well. So there could be decent odds where they say, okay, these units are excluded from the Siege tournament. But let's look at the units for the Wind one first. Also keep in mind the units that they showcase here are 9 out of 10 not the best unit. These are often good units on paper, but not that great units in the game. And the actual good units, they don't really showcase here most of the time. So I'm pretty curious how that will be with these. I didn't read them yet. Thundershot attacks the enemy to decrease attack bar by 30% with a 50% chance. Not too bad, because these numbers probably go up. When used, Thunder State to the attack inflicts additional damage to the enemy with the same attribute as the target with... Wait, what? It's too early. Thunder State is probably a different... When using during Thunder State, okay, I guess that's the passive or some stuff later. The attack inflicts additional damage against the enemy with the same attribute as the target with reduced damage. Maybe it's me, but maybe... wait, what? So you inflict additional damage against an enemy with the same attribute as the target's reduced... Wait, against the enemy of the same attribute as the target's reduced... But the enemy is the target, right? Me no comprende. Okay, whatever. Maybe some in the chat can lighten that up, or I should watch some other videos first. It looks kind of weird for the text. I don't know. Attacks all enemies decrease their attack power by 2 turns, 70% chance. When using during Thunder States, leaves a branding effect for it. Okay, AoE branding. Okay, so the Thunder State is definitely interesting. AoE branding, 40% chance. Probably goes up to like 50 or 60. It's not the highest, but pretty decent. So we have the passive, deals damage additional proportion to your speed. Ooh, speed proportional damage dealers are always pretty interesting. While under Thunder State, decrease your cooldown by 1 turn if the damage inflicted against the enemy is higher than 30% of the enemy's HP target. Pretty interesting. And this one has a skill 4, it seems. Falls on Thunder State, that enhances your skills for 3 turns. Instantly get another turn. So this is very good. So you often have these things where you self-buff, but you don't get the additional extra turn, so it doesn't become really good. In this case, it is there, which is pretty nice. Your attack speed increased by 30% up to 150% whenever you use Thunder State. Once Thunder State is used, you become stunned for one. A Thunder State ends, you become stunned for 1 turn. Okay, that already has quite a few interesting interactions. For example, Josephine. Josephine is the first thing that rings a bell. But also a good pair with Raccoon, because stunned Raccoon is like, you're not. So, seems pretty interesting. I don't think it will be the most meta of the units out there. I feel like it's more towards Siege offense and maybe RTA niche here and there. It also highly depends on like what are the skill multipliers and what are the leads. If this thing has speed lead, it is good. If this thing has some weird crit rate lead for dungeon, then it's not that great. Okay, let's look at the 4-star, which is a weird looking tractor actually from here. Brutal Fist attacks the enemy 3 times. That's very tractor-ish, so that's already multing. Leaving branding effect with a 15% chance. In addition, you attack the enemy 1 more time if the attack power is higher than the enemy's target. Wow, 4 hits. That's good additional damage stuff. Wow, that's actually very strong on additional damage. Attacks the another 3 hits. Whoa, damn. Increasing your attack bar by 15% chance for each critical hit that you land. Okay. Damage increased to 6 times according to your power. Whoa, this is one of those units you want those slot 4 attacks in there. Well, this one you also have to land crit, so speed, crit rate, attack, definitely, wow. Gradually increase your power whenever you attack an enemy. What? What? This seems pretty nice. I'm not necessarily sure if it's tanky enough to survive in siege and that kind of stuff. But this seems... I actually feel the 4-star family more than the 5-star family. That's pretty interesting. Please note that, okay, look forward to Indra and Asura. They look dope. They definitely look dope. I'm not understanding the first skill, but that's probably me being potato just waking up. Sorry on that part. But yeah, interesting units. I think they have some good potential. I'm very curious to see A, leader skills, B, multipliers, and C, the rest of the whole family, of course. So, pretty interested about that. Let me know in the comments what you think about that. But now, about the other part of the video. We have the reloaded patch coming. And a lot of people are asking, what should I do right now? What should I not do? So we have a whole bunch of things going on right now. And a lot of people are saying, for example, okay, we have those crafting materials. Should I save all 6-star legendary runes right now to sell them later? Yes. But the issue is a lot of people do not have the luxury of the amount of space that you can start saving a lot of 6-star legendary runes for selling and getting that material. Also, there's pretty good odds that this is a very slight niche mechanic towards getting some extra runes. It doesn't mean that you're gonna get an insane amount of extra runes if you start saving up like 200-300 of those legendary runes. We also do not know yet if a legendary rune selling is actually that much more higher value of getting these essences rather than a blue rune. So we don't know the exact answer on that yet. Another thing which people might misunderstood or didn't watch in my previous video, let's see where it is over here. If you craft these runes, you craft a random rune legendary 6-star. You cannot choose, because with the other runes, if you click on them, you cannot click on craft until you selected the rune. In this case, there's no rune selection option, so therefore I assume it's a random rune. So that makes it that it's not that you're gonna say like, oh, I'm gonna keep all of my 6-star runes right now and then I'm gonna craft a shit ton of Vaya runes. That is not gonna be the case. Another interesting part is of people asking like, okay, what should I farm right now? And to me, the answer is actually raids. And the reason for that actually has 2 reasons. The Kairos dungeons, mainly of dragons and giants, everything you farm right now will be easier to farm or better to farm after the update hits. So giants and dragons is definitely actually out of the picture. Except if you want to get those runes in for the legendary crafts and selling those later. That's definitely an option. But the reason I say raids is because raids now only drops grindstones. But the thing that I actually didn't mention, and a thing that I thought of later, is saying, okay, they remove all of the other stuff, so the runes and the grinds from Rift dungeons. That means if Rift Raid only drops grindstones, we will get back fight runes, enhance runes, tolerance runes, accuracy runes, and determination runes from Rift Raids. That does mean you're gonna get a whole bunch more nonsense from raids that we actually do not really want / need. That also does mean that getting enchant drops is getting harder, technically, if you want to have a wider spread of them. So we do have that update that these things, yeah, grinds for all rune sets. That actually does mean all of the rune sets that we do not want as well. So determination, enhance, tolerance, accuracy, all of that kind of stuff. That part also does mean, let's say we want to have Vio enchants specifically, it is easy to farm from the Dark Beast. However, someone actually wrote that down on Reddit as well. If they do a run of 10 of Dark Beast, it took them 19 minutes and 40 seconds. That is a very long time. So To get fire runes specifically, it's probably easier from those dungeons. There's probably a few methods to speed up that thing rather than just doing as much damage as possible. I'll definitely make videos on that. But that is definitely something to keep in mind, to say like, okay, currently if you want the full subset of everything that is in there, especially the enchants, maybe you want to save more enchants right now than grinds, do some raids. I think raids is definitely something that is best to do right now, because actually looking at this afterwards, this might be worse for raid rather than better for raid. But that is something that we would have to see work out. Like, I'm not gonna be like a pitchfork like, oh, this is bad. But I think it might actually work in a certain way that getting the specific grinds and gems might be slightly better. Well, actually, the specific gems might be just better, because the specific grinds, you can remove all of these drops from it, but if you're adding all of the grindstones to it, then you're kind of adding the same value of, let's say I wanted to get a Vio speed grind legendary before and after, it's going to be about the same. But if you want to farm specific gems, you have to do that somewhere else. You're not getting the gems as well, so it might be a little bit worse. I'm pretty curious to see how that will work out. Also, R5 was not in the notice saying like, okay, we're going to revamp it at some point. So R5 is actually not on the menu besides this revamp to get like an R6 or an Abyss R5 or whatever like that. So pretty curious to see how that will work out. Another thing is, do not up any of your artifacts. It's simply a waste of mana, because the moment that this update hits, you can put all of your artifacts to an instant plus 15. So very simple, do not up any of your artifacts. It's just a waste of time and money. You could say, okay, farm artifacts of lines that you don't have as these additional proportions to lost whatever. They are technically good, but as they mentioned, they're underused. You could say like, hey, I'm trying to focus to get these. You don't up the artifacts, but I'm trying to get these artifacts. But that is something niche. I don't really think to... Well, if they pretty much said no one's using that stuff, I'm not surprised that people are not going to do that. Also, do not up any of your units to 6-star right now. It's just going to be a lot easier after the patch. So those are definitely things that you do want to look out for. Another thing that I totally recommend you to do is watch either me or any content creator the moment that this update goes live, either on Twitch or YouTube or anything like that. Because I think most of us, definitely me, will be theory crafting how to clear these Abyss dungeons, normal, hard, everything like that, the new dungeon. I'll definitely be making guides on that kind of stuff, so definitely check that out. Also, it's not just me theory crafting those new dungeons, it's me plus the chat and the people that are in there theory crafting towards that certain dungeon. So it's more of a community thing rather than just me trying out new stuff. Hope you want to be there. I'll definitely be there live on twitch.tv/Seiishizo. Check me out there. Also, I will be having 1 or 2 more videos related to Reloaded, because I have some things in mind that I'm not entirely sure how it works, but maybe that's also a certain way of prepping, or at least thinking about, okay, what makes sense, and that is something that you see here on the screen. Is B10 maybe actually better than a hard? Who knows? That's definitely the video of tomorrow, guys. I hope you enjoyed this video. If you haven't yet, like and subscribe to this channel. And that is mainly because you don't want to miss out on any of those dungeon guys. Guys, thanks for watching, and see you in the next one. Okay, one more time at the end of the video. You decrease attack bar. When the thunder state, the attack inflicts additional damage against the enemy. That makes sense. Of the same attribute. Okay. As the target with reduced damage. That doesn't make any sense. Either I'm that potato, or that just totally does not make any sense. Who is the target with reduced damage? Is that the enemy? I have no clue. It would make sense if it says that it does additional damage to the same attribute as the target with increased damage, because you inflict additional damage. That would make more sense, but I don't know, man.